Okay, guys, welcome in. It is the Walker Report. Happy Thursday. We are part of NGSC Sports, guys. Remember the website. It's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. All right, guys. Happy Thursday. These three great gentlemen to me, or the side of me, wherever they are on the screen. um, but what's going on, guys? Everyone having a good Thursday or having a good week? Having a
Yeah.
good couple weeks?
Yep.
I've had better weeks.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm eating. I got busy doing something after me and Alex show earlier. So if you see me eating, I'm eating, but that's okay.
Right.
First of all, I want to kind of like throw out a rest in peace to Ozzy,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, and can't think of the kid's name that was on the Cosby Show.
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yes, thank you, Lou. Yeah, all three of them.
Theo.
Yeah, all three of them. Prayers to their families. Yeah, I mean we're all gone too early.
Yeah.
I think didn't Jamal wasn't he like 45 or 46 years old?
He's the same age as me.
Something like that. Oh, okay. Oh, you're still young. Still young.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even Hulk Hogan at 71 was young. So
Yeah. Well, in human years, yes. In wrestling years, it's what, 150? No, wait, 130. That's right.
Well, according to what I
Yeah.
read, I guess
You have to add every 3 years you're in the league.
he had complications from neck surgery or something, and he wasn't doing too well. From
Yeah,
what I
but
read.
he didn't look well anyway. So, I mean, for quite a while.
Well, and then he didn't have many friends because of
His personal issues.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys remember the WCW event where
Yes.
Vince Russo basically went on a cussing rant about him.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Bleep this and bleep that.
Bleep, bleep, bleepity bleep 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 bleep
Right.
bleep bleep.
Yep.
Yeah, he got booed out of. Was it the Monday after Raw? Or no, it was the first Monday on Netflix.
Yeah, he got booed out of the building.
Speaking of legends returning, did you see Taker on
NXT?
TNA?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it was NXT.
Okay, it was NXT.
NXT.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think Trick knows what he got himself into. I know Taker's retired, but
that is a dream slam. To take a choke slam from Undertaker. Sign me up. To take a bump from one of the greatest of all time. To take a bump from a living legend. You know, and it's one of those things that where we have to remember that it's scripted, it's a work, it's all those things that we talk about where that is part of the story they're telling. And for as a wrestling fan and a fan of Undertaker, and I've been a fan for 30 years, to get the opportunity to take a bump from that guy. It's like some of the guys coming up, 30 years ago with
That's
Hogan,
my buddy. Sorry, guys, that's my buddy Bobby in the corner. He's not going to come on and talk. There he is. He just wants to.
Hey, Bobby.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going all right. Well, if you got something to say, just wave your finger or whatever, and we'll let you talk. But
yeah, all right.
But to take a bump from a guy like 30 years, 20 years ago when Hogan was kind of on his retirement, so think about some of the other legends, to that
Goldberg.
To have Gunther and Goldberg having matches this past summer. They're not in their prime. They're not going to run.
No.
They're not going to have a 60-minute Iron Man match.
Now, here's my thing with Gunther. Now people are saying, "Oh, Gunther's getting too soft because he's making all these claims that anybody he has a match against, he'll beat the what out of him."
I've heard of Gunther.
And he doesn't. And people are like, oh, he needs to either turn heel or be a tweener because he's starting to get over with the crowd, and the crowd's actually starting to cheer him.
Huh.
Well, I think that's where we just gotta let the story ride, let it play out, and see what happens, see where it goes.
What do y'all think's going to happen with Cena and Cody at SummerSlam?
I think Cena picks up a dirty victory. That's how it's been. That's how they've been playing.
Yeah, Cena will win. Cena's gonna win.
You know what? And people have, and I've seen it on social media, people have pointed out that Cody is wearing the same exact glasses as The Rock.
Interesting.
And people are trying to throw it out there. Oh, The Rock, it makes all the sense in the world. The Rock's going to return at SummerSlam.
Really?
If he wants to, I mean, that's the thing about being the boss. You do whatever you want.
Final boss.
Is
Yep.
he in the middle though?
Well, and that's the other thing is he says the final boss character is dead.
Yeah, I admitted. And Undertaker wasn't going to come back in the ring anymore, and he's been back twice since he called it quits.
I
So,
don't.
the work went.
Well, see, I don't know if I believe. I'm taking anything The Rock says right now with a grain of salt because I don't know if I can actually believe it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's all an angle. It's all a work. They're always. I mean, your wrestling is a unique form of entertainment. It's live theater. It's what makes Shakespeare so boring in high school, but so interesting in a local theater, because Shakespeare was never meant to be read. It was meant to be performed. So trying to sit there in ninth grade when you're full of hormones and you hate everything and you're trying to discover who you are and what you are and reading some fuddy-duddy 500-year-old manuscript is incredibly boring.
Sounds like my senior year.
To see somebody put it on makes it that much more entertaining. And that's what wrestling is. Wrestling is the last form of theater. It's theater in its most pure form. It's why Vince McMahon started calling it sports entertainment, to get away from the whole wrestling connotation of it being fake, it being rigged.
But we really don't talk about Vince anymore after his whole blah 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 blah.
Right.
Well, obviously Vince is not a good person, but in terms of recognizing the business for what the business is, Vince Russo isn't a good person, but we still talk about him. We talk about Eric Bischoff, and we can have those honest conversations about how bad of a person Vince was and is, and the terrible things he did, the abuse that he carried out, while still recognizing that if it wasn't for what Vince did, wrestling as we know it today, wrestling would still be in its territory era, where you had 100 little factions all jockeying for 5,000 seat venues on Friday night. We wouldn't have WrestleMania at what do they call that? Where do the Eagles play now?
Veterans.
Lincoln.
Is it Lincoln? I was thinking Lincoln Financial.
Lincoln Financial.
Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park.
Or we wouldn't have it in Vegas.
We wouldn't have it in Vegas. We wouldn't have it at Raymond James. We wouldn't have it. What Vince did.
Wouldn't be. The other thing is, it wouldn't be a 2-night WrestleMania, or this year 2-night SummerSlam.
Yeah. It's a 2-night,
which is next week.
To take it to not dismiss what the crimes of Vince McMahon, between whether it be the steroids or the sexual misconduct or beating around the bush. I think we're clear on. We've been out for a couple of minutes, so we're clear on that for the YouTube algorithm. But to not lose sight of the fact that Vince wasn't a good person. He was a great his early run, his early to middle run with the company
when he first took over. Toward the end of his time as director of creative, it was not good.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't.
He
What
kept
the thing,
pushing people that didn't need to be pushed, and he was
Yeah.
burying younger talent or changing their names, like Karrion Kross
Mhm.
Right.
to Killer Cross or Keith Lee to Keith Bearcat Lee
Take
or Chad Gable to Shorty G.
and
Sounds like a rapper.
the problem was that Vince lived in 1998 for 20 years.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Talk about stuck in a time warp.
What happened was is that in 1990, so this is something that I've always said about the WWE, whether it was the WWE or the WWF, from WrestleMania 1, and it was 84, 85 to about 2009. Vince McMahon had his finger on the pulse. He knew exactly what he needed to do to make wrestling the sports entertainment event of the year, to get people to tune in and week out and be invested. And then in 2009, culture shifted. Culture shift. In the 80s, you had guys like Hogan and
Stone Cold.
in the 80s, you had guys like Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and Ricky Steamboat, and you had
Andre.
those guys in the,
Right.
and then those
Mr. Wonderful.
their stars faded, and you had early 90s guys like Lex Luger, and you had the world bodybuilding championships, so he's trying to do all of that stuff, and that stuff never really went anywhere, and so he reinvented himself in the mid to late 90s, and he let everything go. He let everything go. He let it become. He let it be what it became. And then when that started to fade and it wasn't as popular, he reinvented, and then you had the ruthless aggression era, and then those the kids that were watching the ruthless aggression slash attitude era, they grew up and they started having kids of their own, and they wanted a more kid friendly version of WWE, and
Do that.
he changed the image of the WWE. He tried to be more kid friendly, more family oriented. He got rid of a lot of and the other thing that happened in the late 2000s was we became a lot more aware of, it's not so much aware, but we became a lot more conscious of the injuries, of the concussions, and the head trauma, and the fact that you had guys dying in their late 30s and early 40s.
Edge.
Yeah, Edge,
Christian.
Jericho, Cena. Yeah,
AJ Lee.
Those ruthless aggression guys who were doing all those big stunts. Eddie Guerrero dies in the ring, for Christ's sake. So you had so WWE had to change their approach because guys were getting hurt, guys were dying you'd have guys have massive heart attacks
What about Seth Rollins blowing out his knee?
several times. That's why they banned the curb stomp.
And they banned it, then they unbanned it, then they banned it again, and they unbanned it. Like, if you're gonna ban a move, ban it. Don't let
ban permanently. That's what a ban should be, permanent.
That's like the punt kick. Like, the punt kick has been banned for
about 15 years now.
Yeah, and then same with the same
Package
move.
pile driver.
Yeah, that Kevin Owens used on Randy.
Yep, because it was too dangerous. It was causing too many injuries. People were getting hurt.
I guess Kevin Owens he's probably going to be out for at least a year, but he's having surgery on his neck.
He did already.
I was going to say, didn't he have his
Yeah, he already had surgery.
Surgery back in May or before Mania. That's why he had to drop out of Mania. Do
you guys want to take a look? I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you want
it's okay. Go ahead.
You want to take a look at what so far has been announced for SummerSlam? Not all the matches have been announced. Obviously, I think we all believe that you're going to have Roman and Jay versus Braun Breaker and
I think there was a video of Jay on, I think, either Twitter or Instagram accepting Roman's invitation to be his partner at SummerSlam.
I see.
And people are like, oh, Roman and Jay should lose. You're not going to have Roman lose his return match.
No.
I think people are making, Brad, you and I have talked about this via text. I think they're making Seth's and his knee injury out to be more than it actually is. I think it's part of storyline because I think they're trying to plan a huge return for SummerSlam and have Seth maybe cash in on Punk and Cena.
Well, yeah, because CM Punk is facing Gunther for the title. So,
that's what I meant. Punk. No, they might have. I don't think he cashes in on Punk and Gunther. I think he's going to try to cash in on Cena and Cody.
Yeah, the street fight. Yeah.
I mean, that would make the most sense.
Yes.
Even though he is sickly in love with costing Punk every match, every chance he gets.
That to me makes more sense. That to continue that feud between those two, to inject.
So then, who would you have if you're going to have anybody cost Cody? Who would it be?
I don't think you need to have any. It's a street fight. You don't need to have anybody cost Cody anything.
Cena does what he's done the last few times, and
there's people out there saying that he's starting to show signs of maybe. And I know that he's a heel, but he's starting to show signs recently that maybe the Cena we remember from his prior run is still there.
You say, who I like to inject into that feud is I like LA Knight. I think that would be really interesting to push LA Knight to see how that goes.
Well, over. You know what? I could see two people interjecting, either LA Knight or maybe Cena's cut a deal with somebody to help him beat Cody, and in return, give that person gets a title match at Clash in Paris.
Maybe. See, I think they need to use somebody younger, somebody
Carmelo
newer.
Hayes.
Could be. You could do Hayes. You could call up Trick Williams. You could bring
Jacob Fatu, maybe.
You could do Fatu. You could do Solo Sikoa.
I'm sorry. I'm sick of this whole thing he's got going with whatever Solo's calling his bloodline, the MFTs.
There's a lot of I personally think that you need I like these. For me, I like the idea of somebody younger, somebody newer, somebody that hasn't had a big push yet.
Well, here's one for you.
Hang in the main.
Maybe you call up Ricky Saints.
You could.
Because he just had a last man standing match on NXT Tuesday with Jasper Troy, and he lost. And everybody's already saying, oh, maybe that was to write him off NXT and get him up to the main roster. Maybe you have him interject and help Cena beat Cody. Because
you could,
and that would, and let me explain why it would make the most sense. Because where was Cody before WWE? AEW. Where was Ricky Saints before WWE?
AEW.
Yep, and they're really good friends. But Cena could say, "Look, if you help me beat Cody, I'll give you a title match, either in Clash in Paris or in Perth in Australia at I'm having a moment. I can't remember. What's the event they always have in Saudi Arabia? They have it once a year now.
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel.
Oh, yeah,
But it's going to be in Australia this year.
Yep, it's in October 11th in Australia.
So I would think if Ricky Saints says, you know what, Cena, I'll help you win, but you got to give me a title match either in Perth at Crown Jewel or Clash in Paris, we got ourselves a deal.
Yes.
Then again, does that happen? Maybe not, because Cody and Ricky Saints are really, really good friends. And maybe, because you know, I think all of us know that you can never trust Randy Orton.
Of course.
Right.
So maybe Randy cuts a deal with Cena to get one more title match.
Yeah.
And he helps Cena beat Cody. Now, this could all go up in smoke if The Rock does return.
Yes.
We know we're not going to get Travis Scott, because Travis Scott got, I don't want to say released, but he got cut from the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Travis Scott went over like a lead balloon, so.
Yes.
Well, looking at it, oh, my camera turned off.
Yeah.
So the last, oops. If I do this right, I shouldn't turn my camera off.
Oh.
And then I do this.
Uh-oh. Where did he go?
Randy Orton has a match at SummerSlam. He's partnering with Joey Roll, the musician, against Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul.
Is there anything that guy doesn't want to do?
Who's that, Joey Roll? I don't know.
Joey Roll.
Logan Paul's just the biggest dirtbag there is.
Dirtbag.
And so is Drew. Like, Drew has no business being in this match. At all. I hope Jelly Roll and Randy Orton win.
Randy Orton over the hill.
So you have three scheduled pay-per-views left. And you have, well, actually, technically,
and for Cena's farewell tour. I can't pick you up.
And you have SummerSlam, which is next weekend. Clash in Paris, which is at the end of August. Crown Jewel, which is in the middle of October, and Survival Series War Games at the end of November.
I want to ask y'all something. Who's in War Games this year? Do you think it's Team Roman versus Team Seth?
Could be. It could be Team Roman versus Team Seth versus Team Cena.
Cena's on SmackDown. I don't think they would do. Yeah. I think they might do Team Roman and Team Seth, because I got a feeling Seth's team has one more person that hasn't been revealed yet. And that's the other thing they're saying about SummerSlam, is they're planning a huge heel turn at SummerSlam. And everybody says, oh, it's going to be Jay turning on Roman. No, we've already seen that before. Hear me out. Do you think it could be Sammy?
It could be.
Yes.
Because he just lost to Karrion Kross on Monday Night Raw. On Monday. So it could be Sammy. I mean, could it be Jay? And we go down that road again? Highly doubtful. But then again, it's WWE. We never know.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And Survivor Series is such a long way away that we'll have to wait and see if who's available.
Yes. That too. I could also see Team Seth, Team Roman. Roman has Jay, Jimmy, Jacob. That's 4.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to remember, Tongaloa.
Mm-hmm.
It's either Tama Tonga or Tongaloa is still out injured.
Right.
And they could return and be that 5th person on Roman's team, because the other one, I think, Brad, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Tongaloa that returned to help Solo win the title?
Yes.
Or was it? Okay, so it was Tongaloa. So that means Tama Tonga.
I think he's still out.
Yeah. So he could come back realistically and team with Roman. You got to think somewhere down the road when Tama Tonga comes back, that Tongaloa and Talatonga are going to turn on Solo, turn their back against Solo, and go with either Jacob or Roman. Well, and then at some point, I know Zilla just debuted in TNA over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to think that Zilla isn't far behind for making his debut in WWE.
You could throw a curveball in there. You could put Punk on Roman's team.
I think they're trying to go away from that, because the last 2 times they had Roman come back when Punk and Jay were about to get tsunamied by Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
And Roman helped Jay up, but didn't help CM Punk.
Well, I think
you got to think at some point down the road that they're going to have Punk versus Roman. Because they never gave us that one-on-one. It was Seth versus Punk versus Roman at Mania.
Well, you could set up Punk versus Roman at Survivor Series for next year at Mania, with him costing Roman, or losing outright to Seth's team.
True.
Because Seth's gonna be, you have Seth, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and then they need 2 more.
Well, and the other thing is they're already planting seeds for Braun Breaker to stab Seth in the back, which would be hilarious.
If you're gonna, yeah, and that's the other thing that we have here is we have 4 months till SummerSlam. So
you mean Survivor Series?
That's what I meant. Yes. We have. Let's get through this week and next week, and we'll see where we're at after SummerSlam. Because Gunther who's Gunther facing? Remind me again.
Punk.
Gunther could lose to Punk. And he put the strap on Punk, and he could join.
Well, I want to throw a curveball at you. So say Punk and Gunther are in their match. Does Punk, if he wins, does he win clean, or does he win with interference from somebody?
What type of what is it? Is it a standard match, or are there stipulations?
Yeah, standard match.
So no weapons, one fall in the ring.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll throw out. I'll give you 2 names. Ludwig Kaiser.
Kaiser could come and screw both. Could screw one or the other.
I think if he could, because he's playing El Grande. Supposedly, he's playing El Grande Americano now, with Chad Gable being out.
See, what you could do, you could do that. You could have Ludwig Kaiser lay out both of them, and then you could have Seth cash in,
or try to cash in. Well, try to cash in, and Roman comes out and stops him.
Yeah. You could do that. You could have that before he cashes in. You could have Roman come out. Yeah, you could have Kaiser come out and lay waste to both Punk and Gunther.
and that
Seth's
causes a
music
DQ, and then Seth's music hits. He comes out, and you're like, "Oh, Seth's gonna cash in,"
hits,
and then
Roman comes out of the crowd and clotheslines him as he's coming down to the ring.
or they do what Cena, the spot they did with Cena and who was it at Saturday? No, it wasn't Saturday night's main event. I think it was Backlash where Seth tried to cash in and Cena saw it coming, and poor Charles Robinson got absolutely decleated.
Could you see? Because what you could do with that is that would open up Gunther to join
Roman.
somebody. He could join Roman. He could join Seth.
I think if he gets screwed over by Seth, he would want to join Roman.
Probably would be.
Yeah. No, because that would open up him to join either. Because
here's the other curveball you could throw. You could have him start his own team for War Games.
Yeah, you could do that. You could have him be instead of it being Roman, you could have it be Gunther.
And then Roman's still in it, but he's on Gunther's team.
You could have it be, because he could pick up the victory. He could, Roman could come out and Superman punch Punk or spear him or whatever, and then Gunther picks up a cheap victory, or that would be a disqualification, so Gunther retains automatically.
Yeah. Well, and then the second idea I had is you bring up somebody like Ethan Page. He's already a heel. Hear me out. He's already a heel. And you could have him join Seth's faction. And he comes out, distracts Gunther and Punk during the match. Seth comes to try to cash in. Then you get Roman.
You could do that. It's always an option. I just don't know about bringing Ethan Page up. I just don't know if
I would if he loses next week to Santino. Yes, he's having a match with Santino for the North American Championship on NXT.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you.
You could also have him. You could have him beat Santino, and have him drop the strap to move up. He has two options.
Who would you have him drop? Okay.
No. Vacate the title. Listen. He has two
options. So do what Asuka had to do before she got called up.
Right.
Vacate the title, and then you have a tournament to determine who
the number one contenders are. Because you can have him drop, you can have him vacate. He either stays on NXT and remains champion. He beats Santino. He proves that he's the number one guy in NXT, and he has two options. He can stay on NXT and be the champion, or he can vacate the title and go up to the main roster and be SmackDown or Raw, whichever brand.
I had a third idea, but this is way out there.
Sure,
Oba Femi loses the NXT title, gets called up, joins Seth's faction at SummerSlam, and helps Seth cash in and win the World Heavyweight title.
And I think I really don't see them taking the belt off Cena with the briefcase.
No, I said
no. I'm not.
Gunther.
No. I know. I was just saying.
And
I don't see them using the briefcase.
Agree. You know what? I agree with you on that. I agree. I don't think they're gonna have him being Seth. I don't think they're gonna have him cash in on Cena just to fail.
Yeah, and that's my biggest concern about the Money in the Briefcase. You have to win the title, otherwise winning Money in the Bank. The only point of winning Money in the Bank is to win the belt. If you win Money in the Bank and lose the title match, that means everything that you did to win Money in the Bank is null and void. It's kaput.
Busted.
Yeah.
But we've talked WWE for almost 40 minutes. We can
Put this on the back burner.
Yeah.
What's the next topic, Brad?
I need to come on your guys' WWE show so I can talk WWE for 2 hours.
Right.
We can.
Didn't you say we had something on college football?
We do. Let me see.
Well,
first of all, I think a lot of the conference media days have coming on. I think the SEC is done. I think today,
Big Ten's done.
Today, I think was day 1 or day 2 of the. Now it's not the AAC anymore. It's just the American Conference. They've renamed it just the American Conference.
Oh boy.
They've gotten rid of the second A in the conference.
So we know it's called the AC.
No, it's not called the AC.
It's not called the AC anymore.
That's just the AC.
That's my old joke.
The Big Ten media days were going on.
Yeah, they were today. They were all this week.
Indianapolis?
I love.
Yeah.
Can I say something? I love what Kirk Signetti, what his response was to somebody that asked him, "Why did you cancel your home and home with Virginia?"
Yeah.
And I think they put an FCS school on for
Furman,
27 and 28.
Wow. Stupid.
He's like, "Oh, because we play 9 conference games and we're not the SEC who plays cupcake games right before rivalry week." Which I don't blame him for saying that.
Well, the thing is that each team gets to set their own schedule. There's no oversight committee. Each team sets their own schedule. And
exactly.
I don't want to pick up a tough game in the early. I don't like playing tough games in weeks 1 through 3. I want to play preseason games. I want to play, Furman and Marshall and Central Michigan. Yeah, I want to play, Western Kentucky and
Central Michigan.
Yeah, Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan,
North Dakota State. Well, actually, I don't know if you want to
Coastal
play
Carolina,
North Dakota State,
East Carolina,
USF,
FAU.
USA.
So I want to
play in that conversation.
Right.
I don't want to play. I want to play week games in those first 3 weeks to get football ready for the conference schedule. Because conference games matter. Okay. I like to play 1 through 3 soft games. I want soft, and then I want tough. And then I want tough.
So
tough.
let me ask you this: What do you think about playing Oklahoma the next 2 years?
I don't like playing them in week 2. I want to play them in week 4. I want to get all the bugs worked out. I want to get all the kinks worked out. I want to play 3 soft games against weaker opponents so that I have, especially in transition years like we have coming up this year, with bringing in a new quarterback, bringing in new coordinators, having a lot of shuffling on the defensive line, having a lot of shuffling in the wide receiver room, new running backs in town, young guys who I want to see them get some good time. I want them to get a handful of wins under their belt, feel confident going into Norman on that last Saturday in September. That's my, if I had my druthers. Obviously, I didn't write the schedule. I like the fact that we're going to play Norman, that Oklahoma is going to come to Michigan and play in Ann Arbor next year. I do like that because so often we go down to Alabama, we go down to Florida, we go down to, Georgia, whatever. And then they won't come up here and play us in our house.
Right.
We play
I can attest to that. People are saying, "Oh, they look at what Indiana did with Virginia, canceling that. They're like, oh, Ohio State should cancel their home and home with Texas."
But Texas is a big game.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's laughable. this Ohio State's had this game penciled in as one of their non-conference games for years.
And you as an Ohio State fan, I think you can agree with me on the fact that you don't want to play. I don't want to play Texas in week 2. I'd much rather play them in week 3 or 4.
Well, we're playing them week 1.
Week 1, well, yeah, especially since you've won, coming up a national championship game, now having a new quarterback, new coordinators, a new look defense. You're gonna have.
Well, I don't necessarily think I would call Brian Hartline a new coordinator. He's been offensive coordinator one other time for Ohio State, but this is truthful. To be real, this is his first time calling plays and not having, per se, limitations on what he can call.
And where is that game this year?
At Ohio State.
It's in Columbus?
Yes. And
okay.
In Texas, the network it's on, Fox, has said that they would put Ohio State and Texas in prime time, but Texas has twice said, no, we do not want to play you at night. Which I'm sorry, to me, that sounds
stupid.
It's
big noon kickoff. I love a noon kick.
Actually,
not for a big game like Ohio State and Texas.
I've heard on Steve Sarkisian on an interview he was wanting to play at night. He was wanting prime time as well.
I don't know what's everyone's obsession with playing at night.
I don't know.
Give me that noon kickoff. Let's get this game over with and let's watch football the rest of the day.
Well,
I like my big games in the morning.
But the problem I have is Ohio State. It seems like every game they get on Fox is at noon.
Yeah,
that's because that's
kickoff. They get the big noon kickoff.
There's two prime windows on Fox. It's the noon kick and the 8 o'clock kick, and Fox wants to save the 8 o'clock kick for West Coast games because that's
but then you could put Ohio State and Texas on NBC.
But Fox has the rights to that game. NBC doesn't have the rights to that game.
I'm saying if Fox hypothetical, if Fox didn't have the rights to that game.
Well, if Fox didn't have the rights to that game, then they could put it on NBC, and NBC could play it at 8 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, or whenever they want.
I think it's 7:30.
Yeah, 7:30.
I don't mind 3. The one I don't mind is 3:30. I don't mind a 3:30.
I don't mind either. That's a good time.
I like the 3:30 kick.
I don't mind the early window. But I like noon. But the fact that, if you look at half of Ohio State's games last year that were on Fox, they were noon. Even the Penn State game was noon.
I like the early.
The thing is, people were outraged when they played Penn State because they're like, oh, that's normally the whiteout game. You can't have a whiteout game during the day.
Well, let me say this. Let me explain why I like the noon kick. I like the noon kick because one way or the other, I know what my team's done. And if we win, I can enjoy college football the rest of the day. And if we lose, I can turn it off and I can go do other things. And if I'm waiting for the 8 o'clock slot, then I've got to wait all day to see my team play. And by the time the game's over, I watch football all day. And don't get me wrong, I'm an all day football guy. So
I am too.
But if my team loses at 3:30, I can go do other things. I can get out of my system. I ain't got to go to bed with it. If my team wins, then I'm not staying up an extra hour or two late because now I'm celebrating a win. And so I like the noon kick. I like the 12 o'clock. I like the early slot.
I don't have a problem with it as long as, and I've looked at Ohio State's schedule this year. They only have so far right now one noon game, and that's Texas. Their next two after that are night games.
Wow.
Well, they'll have two because
because if you look later in the season, like week 5, 6, 7, they haven't announced the time yet.
Right.
Which I would assume, like they play Maryland this year. I would assume that's going to be a noon game because not everybody thinks Maryland's going to be good.
Right.
And
Right.
I wish, and Adam, I want to know what you think about this. I wish, and I know it's never going to happen, but I wish they would have Michigan, Ohio State, and prime time 1 year.
So would I.
Nah.
That's a highly rival matchup.
Or
They-
put
you
it
should
and
do
move it out of noon and put it at like 3:30.
Yeah.
I don't. Again, I'll say this, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. I like the noon kick, so that way, one way or the other, I know what's happened. And
I
either I can
understand that,
enjoy
but I'm
football.
saying for a rivalry game like Ohio State, Michigan, why
Yeah.
wouldn't you move it for 1 year? You could keep it on that Saturday, but move it to like 3:30. I would like it to be at night, but it could be a 3:30 kick.
I
And
would
then
like
if
his
that-
game not to start at 5.
At what time?
5. Go ahead,
5?
Brad. You had something to say?
No, you guys were talking about Michigan and Ohio State.
Yeah.
I know the same thing with the Florida State game. It's always at noon or 3:30. They put it on at night one time, and it didn't work. The game didn't work at night because
Sure.
I think what happens is you have fans like Adam that are used to having those rivalry games at noon, and then the rest of the day they can watch the other games if they have other teams that they're looking at down the road, or later that day. Rivalry. The weekend of Thanksgiving is great because it's
Yes.
Georgia Tech, South Carolina, Clemson, Florida State, Ohio State, Michigan. Go down the road. There's Auburn, Alabama. There's so many different games, so it gives you an opportunity to watch. Some of the big games are at noon. Some of the big games are at 3:30. Then some of the big games are at night. But I remember, growing up as a Gator, I'm still a Gator fan. But, the FSU Florida game belongs at 3:30. If they play it they play it early. If they played at noon, it's fine. But they play it after 3:30. No one really pays attention to it. Just like the Florida Georgia game too. It's not.
Yeah.
It's 3:30 every year, and it'll be that way. For
You
the
know,
foreseeable
that's
future.
like UCF USF when they used to play it. It was always Friday. I was like, why can't you have it on Saturday? But then I realized, they probably wouldn't have either a time slot for it or a network to put it on.
Yeah, they always had Black Friday against UCF. Yep, always on Black Friday.
Which they should. It's a travesty that they're not playing UCF anymore.
Not yet. Not yet. I think that's going to change. We'll put it to you this way. USF opens up 5:30 p.m. on a Thursday.
Yeah.
I got that too.
I have to get on the road and get to Raymond James before the traffic in Tampa becomes a nightmare because it will. It does. So and they're playing Boise State. So I'm not sure how many away fans are going to be there. I don't know. We'll see.
Idaho,
Yeah.
not an easy drive.
No.
Flying, same thing.
It's a long flight from Idaho.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can get it from here.
And to talk to kind of hone in on the Michigan Ohio, especially those late games. Having Michigan Ohio State at 8:00 in either Ann Arbor or Columbus, it's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be snowy.
Yes.
It'd be a mess. Look at 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Fuck, has it been 4 years already? 4 years ago, when we played y'all at noon, and it was snowing, and it was blowing, and it was cold, and it was miserable.
Yep.
Imagine that game at 8:00 after all that snow had gotten dumped and that field had gotten harder. And the same thing in Columbus. You can have at noon it's 50 degrees out. It's a nice late fall, early winter day.
3:30.
Yes.
By 3:30, it's starting to get cold, and that sun is going to be down by 5. And at 8:00, I know we play Michigan State. We play Michigan State a lot at 8:00 on Halloween or that Halloween weekend, and
Well, here's the other thing.
it's cold.
Here's the Adam, and I want your opinion on this. I saw something on social media earlier today. I was scrolling and I came across it was 3 Michigan players saying that y'all are gonna whoop Michigan State this year. I'm like, I'm not a Michigan State fan, as you know, but I do support other Big Ten schools. Like, I do follow the rest of the Big Ten, other than Ohio State. And they're like, oh, we're going to whoop up on Michigan State. We're going to beat them by 80. I'm sitting there. I'm like, one, nobody's heard of the three of you because I think all three of these guys are either freshmen or sophomores.
Probably.
And they weren't starters last year. And they're saying this.
Mm.
And
am I supposed to have a problem with that?
No, I just want to know what
I want to fire into passion. I just talk all the shit right now, and then go. As long as they go and back it up, that's the thing. The thing at the end of the day is talk the talk and walk the walk. That's what makes sports so great is the rivalries and the shit talk and the back and forth, and we're gonna kick your they're gonna say they're gonna kick our ass, we're gonna say we're gonna kick their ass. I mean, that's sports, man.
Yeah, I think Ohio State needs to adopt a new rival out of the Big Ten. I think they need to adopt a rivalry with Ohio.
Yeah, why not? State rivalry. Why not?
And there's a reason.
But Ohio
if you look at
good.
No, but it could be a non-conference rivalry. Because I still haven't forgiven their mascot for what he did to Brutus the last time they played Ohio State.
Oh yeah.
I think Brad knows what I'm talking about. Do you?
I think I do too.
I didn't see it live, but yeah, I know what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all play this year. You play September 13th.
I am absolutely sure that we're going to beat them. I would, and if we lose somehow, I will own up to it. I think we're going to beat them by at least 40. They've got a new head coach. I know we have a new quarterback, but I'm very high on Julian Sand. And if he doesn't work out, then we've got Tavian St. Clair. I think Ohio State might win the Big Ten this year. I don't believe in the people that say Penn State's going to win the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And James Franklin has got to go out there and prove it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Took the words right out of my mouth. And it's like people are saying the same thing about Michigan. They're like, oh, Michigan could win the Big Ten this year.
Well, anybody, the thing is, anybody can win it until.
See, I'm not going to say Michigan can't, but they've got a steep hill to climb to win the Big Ten.
Yes.
You got to get past Ohio State. Got to get past Oregon. I think Washington's going to sneak up on people this year. And I'm not just saying that to say that. I really think they will.
Penn State's got Oregon at home.
Ohio State at Ohio State, I believe. And I'm going to bet you College Game Day is going to be there, and I bet you that's going to be a night game.
Which one's that?
Penn State, Ohio State.
Yes.
It doesn't say because it's in Columbus.
It's to be determined.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you right now, if both teams are undefeated or have one loss, that will be a night game.
Oregon will be the whiteout game
for Penn State. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what alternate Ohio State's going to be wearing this year, but I would assume one of their home games, is going to be either the Scarlet out or where they wear their black jerseys.
We don't have to play Oregon this year. We avoid Oregon. We got to go to SC. Yeah, Washington.
USC might. I'm not gonna say they're gonna sneak up on people,
No.
but they might win more games than they're supposed to, even though it's Lincoln Riley.
I doubt it. For the same reason as Lincoln Riley. There you go.
I still don't think they have a defense.
Yep. They try all they can to recruit defense, and all the guys they recruit on defense end up going somewhere else. And same thing with the portal. They try to get guys through the portal. They're like, oh no, we don't want to go all the way out to the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go play for Belichick. We'll go to Ohio State. We'll go to Michigan.
Neat story I saw this afternoon. So, some of you may have heard of a little school called Middle Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not.
They're horrific at football.
They're a poor school. Let's put it that way. They don't have the money to compete with Vanderbilt. Let's just say, let alone Tennessee.
Vanderbilt's not good either.
They don't have the money to compete with Memphis, but
who got rejected to be in the ACC, by the way.
So what they're doing this year is they have canceled all of their alternate jerseys. And they canceled all their alternate jerseys. They're only wearing home and away uniforms this year. They have no alternate helmets, no alternate anything. By just doing that, they saved over $1 million, and they were able to put that money back into their NIL program. So,
yep, and it helped them get some players through the portal.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, do you think is it a wait and see kind of thing? Do we see more teams follow that trend? Your Memphises, your Western Kentuckys,
Kennesaw State,
Akron. Do we see more schools dropping down to one uniform home and away?
I would say yes, if they're a smaller group of 5 school.
Especially if it works.
I would say, like I said, yes, if it's a smaller group of 5 schools, so like Akron, maybe Ohio, Toledo, maybe Navy, maybe Army. Because you really, for the Army and Navy, you don't really send your kid there to play football.
No.
You have to be sent there.
You have to be sent there to learn how to
Army.
Go into the Army or Navy. And it's the same thing with like going to BYU. You don't really go there for football. That's more of a
damn it.
A religious school.
Yeah. I got that. I saw that in the group chat. Yeah. That's really cool.
Hulk Hogan is meeting Scott Hall and Macho Man at the gates of heaven. So
yeah. And right, Piper too.
Yeah. Put him up there too. You could put him up there too. And Andre. And Andre as well.
As Goldberg would say, who's next? I think Ric Flair. I'm just kidding.
Bobby, it's funny you bring that up because I just saw a TikTok where he got broke down, dude, like tears about Hulk Hogan. Like
Ric Flair?
Really?
Yeah, TMZ interviewed him.
Yeah.
And he was a mess.
Yeah.
About Hulk Hogan, which is I don't know if that's interesting in a way because they were kind of like in different eras because Flair was more of like the 70s and then
60s and 70s.
He went well up into the Attitude era. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his prime was his 70s and
yeah, for sure.
Late 60s through the early 80s.
There's a Joe Rogan podcast where Hulk Hogan was on it, and he's saying like Ric Flair is still the same like as he was like back in the 60s and 70s. He's still partying and real loud and stuff like that.
Well, and his daughter's in WWE.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Charlotte Flair.
Currently in a tag team with Alexa Bliss.
They have a match,
Really? I didn't know
tag
that.
team championship at SummerSlam against Judgment Day. It's what? It's, Roxanne
I
Perez.
never thought I would see the day that Charlotte and Alexa Bliss would be tagging.
And they're going to win. They're going to win
Yeah.
those belts, too. You know that's going to happen, right?
They gotta, Charlotte's gotta have a title on her. She can't be in WWE without a title.
No.
Yeah.
Because that would be
disrespect.
disrespecting the Flair name.
Yes.
Yep.
What did we have for MLB?
MLB. Let me see.
We're going 7 days away.
Hey, I gotta
One of-
step off. I gotta go and take a shower and get ready for work tomorrow. I gotta be up at 4:00 in the morning. But it's nice seeing you guys and
Good to see you,
everything's
Bob.
good.
Yeah, I got to get up, man, and have a cigar with you, man. I'll get
For
up
sure.
there.
Hey, my wife's out of town. They're in Ohio, so they're
Oh.
all the
Okay.
kids are gone. So I have the whole place to myself. So come on up, or I can come down. I'm off Sunday, Mondays, and Tuesdays.
Ooh, Sunday. Okay. I'll let you know, but maybe Monday. Maybe Monday. Maybe
Okay,
Monday.
sounds
I'll let you
good.
know.
All
I'll
right,
let you know, bud. Yep. Thank you, man.
man. Yep, no
Yep.
problem. Bye.
Yep. Bobby's a big Texas fan, like Gerald is. They're Longhorns
Yeah.
till the day they die. They're
Amen to that.
Longhorns till the day they die. So MLB, I just wrote an article like a week ago. The backup quarterback for USF, Bryce Archie, got drafted by the Reds. He signed a contract. So that means the USF Bulls are going to have new backup quarterback.
I saw something where they got a kid out of the portal.
Yeah.
Well, they had 2 kids already at the spring game. So I'm assuming it'll be those 3 battling for the spot.
Gaston was the kid's first name that committed out of the portal.
Let me see real quick.
Oh, that's an opportunity, man. You got to make the most of those things.
Yes, you
Well,
do.
yeah, he might not start, but he's going to be there as a backup.
Right? Compared to where he was a week ago.
Yeah. Well, and then here's
Now
the
he's-
thing I got to say about baseball. And I'm tired of these people going on their shows and talking about how, like, Paul Skeens, Ronald Acuna, Mike Trout are going to be traded.
I'd love to have Skeens right about now.
I would love him on the Rays, but the problem is you would have to give up half your farm system.
Yes.
Oops. Okay, there we go.
And I don't think any team wants to do that. And people are like, oh, welcome to the Dodgers. The Dodgers don't need anybody.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers are a mess. I mean, I know they're doing well as far as the season goes, but
Their I'm sorry, their division's the NL West is a mess.
Yeah, but with all the injuries they've been getting, I mean, they're like a banger train wreck.
Well, Snell's still out, Sasaki's still out.
Yeah.
Tanner Scott's probably going to be out a little bit, so they do need a closer. And that's the other one. Is they're talking about Emmanuel Clase could get moved. But then I read an article the other day where it says there's only 4 guys on the Guardians that are untradeable. Like, they're untouchable.
Really?
Cade Smith, Emmanuel Clase, Jose Ramirez, and Shane Bieber. Those were the 4 names that they said if anybody called on those 4 players, they would hang up immediately.
Yeah.
Which people are saying, oh, the Yankees should have 3 or 4 years ago should have gave up half their farm system to get Jose Ramirez. I mean, the Tigers could use a third baseman.
Yes.
You use an arm. Jesus Christ.
Would you go out and get Arenado?
It depends on who else was available.
Arenado or Suarez from the Diamondbacks.
I don't really want a third baseman. I want an arm at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I would say go out. You could go get Eric Fetty. He just got DFA'd by the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's like the Rays. We just sent Taj Bradley to AAA after he couldn't make it out of the second inning last night.
Josh Naylor is now with the Mariners. He got traded by the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Really?
What was the return?
Let me see.
I did trade predictions, and that was not somebody. I had Naylor getting. Go ahead.
2 prospects, bud. They have Brandon Garcia and Ashton Izzy. Ashton Izzy are the 2 that went back to Seattle.
2 pitchers, I would assume.
I mean, back to Arizona. Excuse me. Yeah, 2 pitchers. They're left-handed and right-handed. Garcia's left-handed. Izzy is right-handed. So those are the 2 that are going back to the.
Okay, so that should start the dominoes then.
Yeah.
I would think, and I'm going to say it now, I think the Rays are gearing up to make a big move. That's why Taj Bradley was optioned to AAA.
Yeah.
He struggled this year.
Oh, he couldn't make it out of the second inning last night.
Because I remember Bud last year going and covering Rays games, and I actually enjoyed going to the games that he pitched because for some weird reason he would come into the game, get into a jam early, and then get everybody out, and then he would continue on that path. This year, it just seems like it's gone off the rails for him.
Well, and they
He's one of my
said
favorite
people
plays.
are like, "Oh, he was sent down because he's going to be traded." The front office came out and said, "No, the reason we sent him down is so he could work on his command of his secondary pitches and fix, I guess, his windup or something along those lines." And I did a TikTok and I said it because he has been talked about. There's teams out there that want him. And I mean, as much as I don't want the Rays to get rid of him, it'd be the most Rays thing to do because his value is the highest it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not a free agent until I think 2029,
Something
2028. So he's a controllable young arm. And I mean, you could get a decent prospect package back for him. As much as I hate it, I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees call up the Rays and try to ask for Taj Bradley.
I like that.
And we get in return, we get Spencer Jones, Cam Slitler, and maybe somebody else. Because my problem is Spencer Jones is rotting away in the minor leagues for the Yankees.
Yes.
Kid has, I think, 20 home runs. And I've watched his highlights numerous times. He's got 20 home runs, but he's got this weird stance. It's like a wide. Look up Spencer Jones after we get done. Look up Spencer Jones highlights. His batting stance is like it's wide open. He's got 1 foot that's almost at the back edge of the batter's box. It's a weird stance that I don't think I've ever seen before.
How about I was watching a minor league game the other day, but there's a batter for forget which team Clearwater was playing against, but he picks he has his front foot up in the air until the pitch gets to the home plate.
Yeah.
Just imagine that.
That's the thing that with the guys that are in the big league, some of them have that kind of stance. It drives me crazy. I'm like, because I mean, when I played baseball growing up, sometimes I would do that. Then I realized, what's the point of lifting your foot up till the pitch comes? You're just taking away your elevation.
Yeah.
And you strike out a lot easier that way too. And it's like these pitchers that some of them hesitate before they throw the pitch. Look like like Clayton Kershaw.
Well, I'm not going to argue about Clayton Kershaw because the dude's a future Hall of Famer.
Yes, he is.
Definitely.
So whatever
Kershaw, Verlander, Scherzer.
Yeah, 3 future Hall of Famers right there. So whatever they're doing is working.
Well, did you see where Verlander finally got his first win of the year the other day? After
That's right.
losing what was it, Bradley? Like 14 or 15 starts in a row?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's wild. A guy that's going to be a future Hall of Famer loses 13 or 14 starts in a row.
And not get his first win until this past week.
Yeah, he's like 1
What the
and
hell's going
1-8.
1-8.
I mean, I think Devers is working out in San Francisco though.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he volunteered to play first base the other day, so
After not wanting to play first base for the Red Sox.
it is what it is. I mean, we've done pretty well without him. I mean, we were down 6 runs last night to Philadelphia and came back and beat them.
Thank you for beating the Phillies, by the way.
Is Philadelphia in first place in the division?
Nope, the Mets.
Mets are? Okay.
The Mets are back in
He's
first.
gonna go
The
down
Mets
a while.
are in first place, and I watched that Phillies fan this morning on TikTok, and he was complaining because he's like, "Oh, the Mets took over first place, and their fans don't know how to act."
Nothing new about that.
How about, speaking of baseball, how about the Milwaukee Brewers?
Yeah.
Best record in the league, 9-1 in their last 10 games.
Look out.
How about the Blue Jays?
Blue Jays.
Don't go there.
And
Turn it
Brad,
on.
you and I talked about it on our show in the preseason. We're like, "Oh, the Blue Jays they're gonna miss the playoffs."
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? In some ways, Bud, I'll be honest with you. In some ways, I'm glad to be wrong, because
I am too.
I watched a YouTube clip the other day, guys, about this guy made a clip of all of the biggest home runs in each team's history. And we all know the Blue Jays, it's Joe Carter, right? They beat the
Yep.
Phillies back-to-back World Series. And it's been such a long time since Toronto's been relevant in baseball. In hockey, they are every year because they seem to find a way to blow it in the end. We won't go there. Yeah. But anyway.
You keep talking like that, and we'll never get Dangle on the show.
I was going to say, I just screwed us against Steve on the show. But anyway.
I think, honestly, he's the only Maple Leafs fan I know.
There's a lot of them on YouTube. There's a bunch of them on YouTube.
I know. I work with somebody that's a Boston Bruins fan, and I give him you know what all the time.
Yes.
Because I'm like, "What's going on with the Bruins?" He's like, "I don't want to talk about it. I've given up on watching them."
They still got Pasternak. I mean, it's not like they.
For now, they're talking about that Pasternak might get traded to Florida.
Oh, they need another guy in Florida. They're going.
No, they don't. They have Marchand. They have the Rat.
They're going for 3 cups in a row.
I don't think they're going to get 3 cups in a row. I think somebody's going to knock them off, whether it be Edmonton, maybe the Lightning.
Lightning have
maybe Detroit.
I mean, look at Vegas. I mean, they got Marner. So
Mitchie Marner.
Because they're, again, that's the West, so that would be the team that they would play in the finals. And I want to say, wasn't that the team? No, that was Washington that lost to the Knights. That's right. When the Knights won their cup, they beat the Capitals
a couple years ago.
That's right.
How many years is it before the Blackhawks make the finals again?
At least 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're a
long way away.
Long way away.
Does Bedard stay a Blackhawk his entire career?
We'll see. Depends on how the next couple years play out.
Because people are like, because I've seen people already, like I said, with Skeens and baseball, I've seen people making mock trades of Bedard going to like Toronto.
You love that.
Yeah.
Ottawa,
It's
Boston. And I'm like,
it's too.
one, it's too early to tell. And two, I don't think the Blackhawks would do that. Unless he comes out and says, "Oh, I want a trade somewhere."
If he's 6 years in,
Right.
and he's on his second contract, and the Hawks are still terrible, they could.
Then maybe.
And he
they
can
figure it out.
overcome the injury bug, and he's not. He doesn't have
Mm.
multiple 40 games missed seasons, and he can be productive. Oh, I could see them moving him for picks and prospects a few years down the road. But right now,
it's too early right now.
it's really too early to tell because, that's the thing about it's like when you have a quarterback. Everybody's so eager to give up on guys.
Yeah.
Before they've had a chance.
Everybody's so eager to give up on like Michael Penix, and he started 4 games.
And there's some guys you look at and you go, yeah, he ain't it. Look at Spencer Rattler, Mac Jones. Oh, you guys that you can just tell. Daniel Jones. What is it with guys named Jones?
Right.
Or look at the Jets and the curse they have with quarterbacks.
Justin Fields.
He's hurt.
See, I have an update on that though. They thought it was his knee. It turned out to be his toe.
That's not any better.
No.
Nope.
It's not, but at least it's not his knee.
He's still going to be limited. I think he's day to day.
I wouldn't
Depends
be
on if it's
surprised.
crypto or not.
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play at all in the preseason.
Yeah.
Right.
And same with Garrett Wilson.
I think preseason football is so pointless anymore.
Here's my thing. Out of these 3 guys, who gets paid next?
Okay.
Trey Hendrickson, Micah Parsons, or James Cook? 2 of those are edge rushers, and one's a running back. And 2 out of the 3 are James Cook's at camp. Micah, I believe, is at camp for the Cowboys. And then Trey Hendrickson's holding out.
Right.
So who gets paid first? I'm going to say James Cook. What about y'all?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, because
Adam?
Isn't Parsons in his last year of his deal? This current
Yep.
deal that he's on?
And he wants to get paid more than what TJ Watt got paid. And in my opinion, I don't think Micah Parsons is that good.
He's one of the premier edge rushers in the NFL. You know what? I have a funny feeling he'll get paid not in Dallas.
Yeah, I think Parsons moves on.
Yeah, I see him.
I think he gets dealt maybe to New England.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I could see him getting. I could see them moving him at the deadline for picks and prospects.
You mean for draft picks? I mean, what would a pick return look like for Micah Parsons? Like 3 first-round picks?
A first and 2 seconds.
I was gonna say at least, first and 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I think 3 first rounds you're overpaying.
How about this? Micah Parsons to the Eagles.
Nope, never happened. Never happened.
No. Don't push your luck.
No shot.
Never say never.
No. Jerry Jones will kill himself before he lets that happen.
What about the Commanders?
Jerry Jones will blow up AT&T Stadium before he sends somebody in the division. Right. He will dynamite that stadium. He will burn it to the ground.
Hold up, I got another one for you. Micah Parsons to the Lions.
I could see that one. I could see that. That would be. I'd make that deal. If I could swing,
Would you make that deal if you were the Buccaneers? Micah to the Buccaneers.
Yes. On the stipulation that I have a contract in hand. I want a 4-year, $100 million, $120 million contract.
So basically, anybody but the NFC East.
Anybody with the NFC. Yeah, I think
the only
Jones would
other
do.
team you could rule out is the Browns.
I could see him ruling out Cleveland, Minnesota,
Pittsburgh.
Maybe he might, but to go on to play
Cincinnati, definitely, because half of their money's tied up into their wide receivers.
Yeah, and Burrow.
Yeah. And they don't seem to. They don't. I follow the Bengals, and I hate to say this, they don't spend any money on their defense. It's all offense.
Well, that's where all their best players
and that's their downfall. That's their downfall, is they never spend money on defense. It's always offense. Like, I think if you were to let either Jamar Chase or T. Higgins walk or trade them, you could have got a haul back for one or both of them.
I think Higgins would have
somebody would pick up the phone immediately if you said, "Oh, Jamar Chase is available."
Yes. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
I don't know.
This is the Minnesota Vikings. We'll give you Jordan Addison and 2 first-round picks. 3 first-round picks for Jamar Chase.
That would have to be a really sweet deal, because I think Cincinnati would riot.
Sorry, nobody's home.
I think the problem with doing a trade, doing a big trade, trading away a big star like a Jamar Chase, is you have to get a monster haul to justify it.
So let me throw this out there. So the Vikings call the Bengals and say, let's talk about a Jamar Chase trade. And it starts with 3 first-round picks. Would you continue to listen, or would you hang up the phone?
I would be thinking this is a prank call, because you already have Justin Jefferson, so you don't need another number one.
Your number 2 wide receiver would be Jamar Chase. And then you're getting rid of Jordan Addison in the deal. Or would you take Jamar Chase out of there and put T. Higgins in there?
See, I would be more interested in Higgins than Chase, because I already have a number 1 target. Yeah, I think I would want.
What would the package look like for T. Higgins? Would it still be 2 first-round picks?
I'd be a player if I was Minnesota and I was putting together a package for Higgins, I'd go Addison, a first and 2 seconds, and 35%. I'd want Cincinnati to retain 35%.
Okay, that's fair. But if you're Cincinnati and I don't think they're going to give a new contract to Trey Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson.
Because Higgins has already got his new contract.
Right.
And people are saying, oh, they've backed Watt has basically backed the Bengals into a corner with Trey Hendrickson. And they're going to have to pay him probably $43, $44 million to get him to sign a new contract. I'm somebody that needs a pass rusher.
Yes.
Off the top of my head, the Patriots GM calls up the Bengals and says, look, we want Trey Hendrickson. What do you want in return? Do we need to give you a roster player, or can we give you draft picks? And Brad, this is where you come in, because you're a Patriots fan. What would you give up for Trey Hendrickson?
Honestly,
a first-round pick?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have to give up a first and probably a second for 2 seconds to get
at
him
minimum.
At minimum.
Yes.
And then maybe throw in a Kaiser White.
In my opinion, if I had the choice between Trey and Miles and
Micah
Parsons, I'd rather have Micah Parsons if that was the
I would
case.
too.
That's just me. But nothing against Trey.
Yep.
I'd rather have Micah.
I
But yeah,
think Mike is the.
I'm interested to see what the Patriots are going to do this year. I've heard, I watch a lot of YouTube TPS complains about them getting Diggs and how he's a bust. And I'm like, well, why do you think Tom left New England? Because he had no weapons. So they're giving Drake May weapons now. They're giving them
And
weapons.
this is a new coaching staff. This isn't
Yes, under Mike Vrabel.
Belichick. This is Mike Vrabel.
This is a whole new regime.
Yeah, whole new regime. Yep.
And I don't know, because I think both. I would rather have Hendrickson because he has better numbers.
So would you take him in Detroit?
Hendrickson?
Yes.
Depending on what I need a contract. You know what I mean?
I think the Lions could give him a new contract.
You know, if I can get that contract done, if I can get a contract done, yeah, I'd be interested in talking to Cincinnati.
What would you give him in return?
Yeah.
I'd be interested in two first rounds, a second, and 35%. Well, actually, I would take the whole contract because I wouldn't make them sign, and I would a first and 2 firsts and a second in the next 2 years.
Well, yeah, because the Lions are a playoff team. So
And we're
those first round picks.
It's gonna be 2 late first rounders.
Yeah.
A guy who's comparable to Trey Hendrickson in the late first round, early second. So
yeah, and then you have Trey Hendrickson on one side and Aiden Hutchinson on the other.
And not only that, but you don't have to play them both. You can platoon them. You can limit their snaps. You can play one snap. You can play one early and then one late. You can play
you can play Trey on first and second down, and then Aiden Hutchinson comes in on third down when it's a passing down.
Yep. And you can have neither of them on. You can have neither of them on the field if you wanted to go 3 down linemen. You could have 3. You could go 3-4 and have them both on the field coming upfield. There's so much you can do when you have two number ones.
Well, and then you got your first round pick this year, Tyleek Williams, who I think you guys got to steal. Tyleek Williams.
Yeah.
He was supposed to go in the second or third round, and you got him at the end of the first. And there's people out there saying, oh no, Tyleek Williams, that's a reach. Getting him in the first round. That was a need for the Lions, was defensive end. Wasn't it, Adam?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where he went.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I'm back. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, where are you?
There he is.
I'm driving now, so.
Okay.
Ugh. But so anyway, yeah, no, I wouldn't mind either one of those. If either one of those guys was available, I wouldn't turn my nose up at them. Depending on what they wanted, what either of those two teams wanted in return for them.
Now, here's another one, and I'll start with Bradley. Where do you think they come? Well, the Redskins, because that's what I'm going to call them. Do you think the Redskins give Terry McLaurin a new contract?
Well, let me stop you there, but according to the president, he is not going to give them any money unless they rename them the Redskins. So let's just put it that way. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, they have to. They have a young and up and coming quarterback. They need, again, just like I just said a few minutes ago, you got to give the kid weapons. You have to. He cannot. Football's a team sport. We all know that. You can't do it by yourself, and he's got to have weapons. So yes, they'll get some kind of deal done. They're under new ownership, so it's good. It's good for them to. But yeah, I think they will sign. They'll get him signed. I really honestly do.
Because if they don't, he's probably going to get moved. And there's 3 teams that have been linked to him: the Patriots, I think the Patriots were 1, the Steelers,
Okay.
and the Chiefs.
Okay.
And do the Chiefs really need any more help?
No.
Yeah. They don't have any. Who's in their wide receiver room? They could use a receiver.
Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy,
Yeah, but I would think that
Travis Kelce.
McLaurin is better than those two, and Kelsey's on the end of his, and he's on the tail end of his
Well,
career.
and Rashee Rice might be suspended.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Worthy was unimpressive last year in his rookie year.
Yep.
And I think
So-
they drafted a couple wide receivers in the draft also.
I think you're right, but I'd have to look it up. I'm not sure. So
And in the Steelers, they could use another wide receiver with DK.
Yes, yep. Pittsburgh could use a receiver.
Because they sent Pickens to the Cowboys, which is hilarious.
Right.
Yes.
I like it. If as a pseudo Steelers fan, I getting rid of
The
Pickens.
funny thing, you know what? The funny thing is that they always get rid of wide receivers right before they have their
implode.
Antonio Brown, Artavis Bryant, Chase Claypool.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to come up with. Thank you.
Yes.
One of my friends I grew up with went to college with Chase Claypool at Notre Dame. And Chase Claypool had so much potential, but he's never could stay healthy.
He can never. Well, that's the difference between a superstar and just a star. Is guys, there are guys that get it figured out day one, and have it figured out from day one. Guys like Jamar Chase and
Chris Godwin, Mike
Justin
Evans.
Jefferson, Mike Evans. And then there are guys who never get it figured out. There are guys that lose it. Guys like Antonio Brown, Martavius Bennett. They had it. They had all of it there.
And the thing with the AB is he's in jail now.
Yeah,
Right.
For attempted murder. So there's that.
And he filed for bankruptcy.
Well,
yeah, things will. He should have obviously never. He was the owner of a Arena Football League team at one point.
Arena football.
Speaking of folded leagues, did you see about the USFL?
Yes.
Yep. There's teams out. There's new teams in.
They're gone. They folded. The whole league imploded this afternoon.
Uh-huh.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I just saw that before we came on. It may not be true. But what I saw was the whole league folded.
Figured.
Okay, so the XFL is the only league left.
It says the UFL to relocate 4 markets for the 2026 season.
Yes.
Michigan, Houston, Birmingham, and Memphis are all being relocated for the 2026 season. That's what it says.
Are they consolidating them somewhere?
I've heard Orlando, Columbus.
It
Kentucky.
says right here, UFL is cleaning house, and right now it looks mostly cost-cutting measures. The UFL is wasting no time in making some organizational changes. I've told over a dozen full-time owners last week. Okay. Yeah, it says sources. The new ones will. You're right. The new ones will be Boise, Idaho, Columbus, Ohio, Orlando, and Kentucky, either Louisville or Lexington. We'll get
You know what? I don't hate that.
What kind of
Those
fan
are-
base is going to draw up?
Those are 4 underserved football markets.
Yeah.
Well, and I follow a Kentucky fan on TikTok, and he was talking about it. He's like, this is their chance to prove that they should have a professional sports team in Kentucky if it's put in Lexington,
hmm
which I would agree.
Yeah.
Columbus is very much underserved. All they have there is the Buckeyes
The Blue Jackets.
and the Blue Jackets. Well,
And
the Columbus, the
The
minor
Crew are
league-
there.
the Crew, then the AAA team for the Indians,
Mm,
the Columbus Clippers.
mm.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm not calling them the Guardians.
Neither do
I don't know
neither
what
do
you're
I.
guarding.
in Cleveland.
I would call them the Gargoyles.
You could, Lou. You could call them that if you want to get technical. You could call them that.
Yeah.
The Gargoyles.
Cleveland
Gargoyles.
Gargoyles. Yeah.
So are we using a Smurfs reference now?
That's
Yes.
Gargamel.
Yes.
The only thing
here-
they're guarding in Cleveland is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So that's
Yes.
about
I'm here all week, folks.
So am I.
Yeah, we know.
I've been here 9 years.
it. Oh my God!
And
Oh
survived
my
it all.
God.
Wow.
This is why I love Thursday nights. Seriously, this is why I love Thursday nights.
Did you see what you see? I go through on Saturdays. Oh,
Yeah.
But
Oh.
here's my help.
who do we think's winning the division?
Which division?
Starting the NFC East.
East? Eagles.
Eagles.
Yes, Eagles.
Yep. Eagles.
NFC
North?
West.
NFC,
Okay, we go to the West.
NFC West. Oh,
It's gonna be a crapshoot. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I like the
49.
Rams.
Rams.
I like the Rams too.
Rams.
I think
I'm
the
tempted
49ers.
to say San Francisco, but I just can't.
No,
I could
no,
see
that's
I could see San Francisco. I could see San Francisco. It really depends on what kind of Brock Purdy we get. If we
Well,
get
and
Brock
he
Purdy
doesn't
from
have
2 years ago,
Debo's not there anymore. That's what I was gonna say.
right.
And Ayuk's
Um,
gonna be probably out for the first half of the season.
And
I'm gonna say Rams.
Yeah, I
Actually,
like
wait.
the-
You
I
know
like the
what? I'm
Rams.
gonna throw a curveball. I'm gonna say Chargers.
Rams.
How are the Chargers going to win the NFC West?
They're not in the
Oh wait, they're in the AFC West.
That would be a curveball. That would be a
That's a
curveball.
curveball.
Changing conferences in the middle. Changing conferences. Yeah.
Wait, that's my pick for the AFC West. NFC
Well, you-
West.
Yeah, because it's Seattle, LA,
Yep.
San Francisco, Arizona.
I think Seattle
Actually,
can
wait, Arizona. I think the Cardinals.
I'm not. Kyler Murray is their Achilles heel.
Yep, he sure is.
Yes.
I think that I think Seattle's gonna sneak up on people. I think they could go 10-7, and they could surprise a lot of people in the
I've
NFC
heard
West.
people saying that Arizona is going to be this year's they're
Cindy Relly?
the Lions of this year.
I haven't seen it. I don't think they made. Kyler Murray is holding them back.
Yep, I agree.
I
Yes.
really 3 years ago when they re-signed him, I thought that was a good move because quarterbacks are hard to find. Good quarterbacks are even harder. So I was like, you've got a good quarterback in there. he's been so underproductive that I don't think he was worth the money now.
I don't think he's worth the money either, but the problem with him is he hasn't had an offensive line.
Well, I don't think he takes football as seriously as you need to be a professional quarterback in the NFL. It goes back to what we were talking about, guys that have it and guys that don't. Guys that have it, when you're a professional football player, you can't have other things going on. Sorry. You can't play video games. You can't be, I mean, I guess you can, because I was going to say you can't be in the club, but then look at all the players that are in the club every weekend and still go out and ball. But
Yeah.
Aaron Hernandez.
Well, you can't commit murders. Like, as we
And only
already
get
stated,
convicted for one.
Murder.
unless you're Ray Lewis.
Yes.
He committed 3.
And O.J. Simpson.
Aaron Hernandez committed 3, only got convicted for 1. Because they said they couldn't find enough evidence to convict him for the other 2.
You can get him on what you can get him on. And got him on the one that they could get him on, they got him on. So, I mean,
the only reason I think the Cardinals could do it is their defense.
Okay.
And Marvin Harrison. Because I've seen
and Marvin Harrison Jr. If Kyler can get him the ball, if they can protect, yeah, you make a good point, because I forgot they had him now. But what's that defense gonna look? I get, and we talk it to death, and we talked it to death, and we'll talk it to death. I mean, we beat this dead horse every late summer, early fall. Football is a team sport. You've got to have all 3 aspects. Look at the 07 Chargers. Best offense in the league, best defense in the league, worst special teams in 30 freaking years, and missed the playoffs. Went 8-8 and missed the playoffs. So, I mean, at the end of the day, all 3 aspects have to play. You've got to play complete team football. As Coach McKay said, he was in favor of his offense's execution because they suck.
Yep. NFC North.
The North's wide open, man. Everybody's improved. I think Minnesota will come down to JJ McCarthy. Is he healthy? How healthy?
Well,
is he?
I've seen. Can I say something? I've
Sure,
seen people making comments that are like, "Oh, people aren't ready for JJ McCarthy and Justin Jefferson because they're throwing all these touchdowns in training camp." Yeah, that's against your own defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not against somebody else's first team defense.
It's not at speed. It's not in pads. So, we'll see where he's at, see if he's healthy, see if he's ready to go.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say the Bears will win the North.
Never.
I like the seriousness Ben Johnson has brought to the building for the Bears. I saw an article earlier today where he had to pull the offense off the field. It was either the offense or somebody was in a fight. Oh no, that was in Dallas. Chicago, they were having issues in drills, 11-on-11 drills with the offense and defense. And Ben Johnson said, "You know what? That's enough. I'm taking the offense off the field."
Everybody to your room. You've been grounded.
That exactly. And then in Dallas, it was Brian Schottenheimer yelled at a couple of players because they got in a fight.
Yeah, I'm not a big. I know a lot of NFL fans love the fighting in training camp. I'm not a big fighting in training camp guy.
I don't care for it.
I think it just starts discontent and discomfort in the program. I don't think it's good for cohesive unit cohesion, as it were. It can, sometimes you got to fight and you just got to get it out of your system, and then you can be friends from there, because men are men, and be throwing
Yes.
punches, and 5 minutes later they're yucking it up, drinking a beer. I mean, and sometimes you just gotta fight. But
Yeah.
I think
Boys
on
will
the
be
on the
The old saying goes, "Boys will be boys."
Yes.
right, but I think on the whole, fighting in training camp is
Is
kind
ridiculous.
of detrimental to the team cohesion. So
Right.
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of fist fighting your teammates.
Neither
To
am I.
me, it's ridiculous and selfish.
There's no purpose. Well, it doesn't.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah, I don't. I think the North is wide open. I think the North is wide open.
Yep.
I think any of the 4 teams can win the North, because I think, and I say that unlike the South, where the South is wide open because everybody sucks, the North is wide open because everybody is so good.
Even the Packers.
Even the Packers. Yeah, I think the Packers have improved. I want to see another. I want another year of Jordan Love under center. I think that'll be good.
So the NFC South.
Bucks.
And the NFC South is wide open for the other reason. Everybody kind of sucks.
I would say the only team that sucks in the NFC South is the Saints. Or, as I like to call them, the New Orleans Aints.
Yeah, we got 10.
Carolina's on a rebuild, but Atlanta and Tampa Bay are decent.
I think Carolina's going to sneak up on people this year.
I could see Carolina sneaking up on people. I could also see them.
I don't think they win the division. I think it's going to be Tampa again.
I could see them sneaking up on people, and I could also see them being 3-14.
True. It's just which Bryce Young are we going to get?
Yeah.
I think it all depends. Every team. Obviously, the Saints are terrible. The Saints are going to struggle. We know that.
Don't call them the Saints. Call them the Aints.
I do.
Until they win more than 4 games, I'm going to call them the Aints.
Yes.
Sorry,
Carolina,
Saints fans.
Carolina could go either way. Carolina could be a
Atlanta could go any way too.
Yeah, Carolina.
People have been saying throughout training camp that Kyle Pitts has been running with the wide receivers and not the tight ends. And
him moving off the spot,
the year Kyle Pitts breaks out. How many have we heard that for?
Goes to a new team.
he could be really good in the slot. As he's what, 6'4", 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah,
he's a big, tall body. He could be really good in the slot as a third receiver. He's never really stuck in as a tight end. He's never figured it out as a tight end.
He could be a good what's it called now? H-back.
He could be like a Cordell Patterson type
gadget player.
Yeah,
lines up a little bit everywhere.
Yeah.
Running back,
tight end, wide receiver,
tight end.
Yeah.
He could be the modern day version of who was a good tight end back then that used to do that.
I was saying you don't even have to go all that far back, and we don't even have to change teams. And Cordell
Tony
Patterson.
I was gonna say Tony Gonzalez.
Yes. Gonzalez was a prototypical tight end.
But let me compare him to if you ask Kyle Pitts to block, he'll block. Look at Travis Kelce. Has Travis Kelce blocked at all in his career?
They haven't had that. He hasn't had to.
Because they barely run the ball.
For the first 8 years of his well, he's always had that. They've always had a dominant offensive line, and they've always had Patrick Mahomes. So
and people want to say, "Oh, Travis Kelce's a tight end." Mm-hmm. No, he's a tight end. He's a wide receiver playing tight end, and he wasn't even a tight end in college.
Yes, he was.
No,
But
he wasn't. He was a Wildcat quarterback at Cincinnati. Lewis?
Here, I'm still here.
Look it up. Bradley, can you look it up real quick and
I'm
tell us?
looking it up right now.
Because I'm pretty sure I remember watching highlights of Travis Kelce as a Wildcat quarterback at Cincinnati.
Oh,
And I'm not.
He played tight end and Wildcat quarterback at Cincinnati.
Okay, so I was right then on the quarterback part.
yes.
He lined up. I don't know how many snaps he took behind the line.
I remember there was one highlights that I was watching where he was just Wildcat quarterback and he took the snap and did a jump pass and it was a touchdown.
Yep, he threw one touchdown pass and he ran for. He's got 8 rushes for 47 yards and 2 touchdowns and had 1 reception for 3 yards. He was suspended for 2010 for marijuana violations.
Marijuana?
He returned in 2011. He played tight end, recorded 13 catches for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then in 2012, he has 45 catches for 722 and 8 touchdowns.
That's where he stood out when he got drafted by Kansas City, his senior year. I didn't realize that Byron Brown was a senior. This is his last year as at quarterback.
That's like people, like, for example, college football right now. People are saying, oh, if Arch wins the Heisman, he's going to declare for the draft. No.
I heard Cleveland.
Cleveland? Okay.
Another quarterback. They already have enough quarterbacks in Cleveland.
Yeah.
They just drafted
that's
two this year.
The problem is they don't have any quarterbacks in Cleveland. And they've drafted a bunch of guys to play quarterback, but
Dylan Gabriel and
and their GM, get this, their GM said they may keep 4 quarterbacks on roster.
You can only have 3 on game day, though.
4?
So one of them.
Yes, they may keep 4 quarterbacks.
How do you do that? Do
one goes on
Dylan?
the practice squad.
2 would have to go on the practice squad. Well, yeah, you could have. Do you have Flacco, Dylan, and
No, Flacco, Pickett, and Shador. And then you put Dylan Gabriel on the practice squad.
Or do you put Sanders on the practice squad and keep Gabriel?
No.
Yeah.
I think Shador makes the team. There's no way they drafted him in the 5th round. You got to think his dad said something to the Browns ownership and GM Andrew Berry and said, look, if you draft Shador, he has to make the roster. He cannot be on the practice squad.
Right.
Or if he doesn't make it, he gets traded somehow.
That's a fun call I would ignore.
I would too, unless I'm a team desperate for quarterback. Even if it's just a backup quarterback, because there is a team. The Titans already lost their backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Levis, so they need a backup. Because you're not going to trust. Maybe, because I don't think you would trust Tim Boyle to be your backup. Or do they go to the Giants and trade for Jameis?
Maybe in Tennessee,
because Russell Wilson's been named the starter.
Right, he's been named the tentative starter.
You know what? I want to say this. How long is that going to last?
All year.
You don't think Dart sees the field at all?
I wouldn't. I would let Jameis. I would let Wilson. Unless he's just that awful, I would hold Dart out. If Dart plays, it'll be in garbage time.
So you're saying even if what happens if and I don't wish this upon anybody, but what happens if Russell Wilson was to get hurt?
Yeah.
If Russ is hurt and Winston's gone, then Dart plays. But
Because they have the same issue that the Browns have. They have 4 quarterbacks. They have Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, Jameis, and Tommy DeVito.
mm-hmm.
So, I mean, would you
know.
trade one of those other 2 guys? Most logical would be Jameis because he's had experience as a starter and he could mentor
Yeah.
Cam Ward, who's going to be
Right.
the starter in Tennessee.
Yeah. Now that definitely with Will Levis being out for the year, unless
And
they,
I hate to say this, I think Will Levis was a bust.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Even though
He
the problem with him in Tennessee, he didn't really have an offensive line.
Yeah, of course. I mean, how many?
He did have Derrick Henry though.
Yes.
Yeah, but Derrick Henry's only as good as the guys in front of him.
I'm sorry, I would not want to get stiff armed by Derrick Henry.
No.
No, but if it's 3 guys on one in 3 yards in the backfield, yeah, Derrick Henry might get 5 yards 3 times, but he can't carry the ball 50 times.
No. But no, I'm
And-
saying if I was somebody that had to try to tackle Derrick Henry, I'd make the business decision and just let him go past me.
I would.
Because you could ask Josh Norman what happens. Ask Josh Norman.
Derrick Henry's step arm has ended several careers over the years.
Josh Norman was the most prevalent one.
There's a whole highlight tape you can find of Derrick Henry's step arms ending careers. So
Josh Norman was my favorite because he sent Josh Norman flying.
yeah, he has to destroy Josh Norman. Yep.
Poor Josh Norman, who's in a retirement house now.
It's a very nice. With the money he made, it's a very nice retirement house.
Yeah. Then again, that's why I said I would never put myself in that situation where I'd have to tackle Derrick Henry.
I wouldn't want to either.
There's a few guys I would say, you know what? Just go past me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's one. Ray Rice back in his prime.
Yeah. Jerome Bettis.
The bust.
Mike Allstott, the head of steam.
I go with the bus.
Which his kid's in college now. Jerome Bettis.
Wow.
I think his kid's going to Notre Dame.
Right, that's where his dad went.
That's crazy to think that Jerome Bettis' son.
Yeah.
Within the next 4 years, he'll be in the NFL.
The wide receiver in.
That's like Jerry. Was it Jerry Rice's kid?
Yeah, freshman.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of former NFL greats that have had kids that are either in college or were in college and now are in the NFL. Frank Gore
Jr.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's son.
Jerry's boy.
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, look at Marvin Harrison's brother.
Yeah, doggy
breath.
Who's already got. Yep. Well, Marvin Harrison's brother is only, I think, 15 or 16. He's like a freshman in high school, and he's already got a scholarship offer to go to Ohio State.
Isn't he Martin Harrison?
Yes, Marvin Harrison's second son. Not the one that's in the NFL.
Right.
Right.
which would be Marvin Harrison Jr.'s brother.
Mm-hmm.
And then same thing with Jeremiah Smith's brother. He's also in high school right now, and I think he's either a freshman or sophomore, and he's got a scholarship offer to Ohio State too. And he's only 15 or 16 years old.
Right.
I think if Ohio State, and I might get looked at funny for this, I think if Ohio State has another good year, Brian Hartline's gone. He's going to take a head coaching job somewhere.
Yes.
Whether it be at a lower tier group of 5 school or maybe a Power 4 school, maybe Penn State if they end up firing James Franklin, or the SEC in Kentucky.
Maybe Florida.
Yeah. Maybe Florida.
Dion to Florida.
No.
Just kidding, folks.
No, I doubt that.
Dion to USF if they lose Golish.
They had the chance.
That was
Dion ain't
one of
leaving
his
Colorado.
3 schools that he had the opportunity to go to when he was getting back into coaching.
USF was one of them.
Before he chose Jackson State.
Yep. You guys want to call it a show right there?
All right.
Yep.
Go ahead, Lou, and talk about your show.
All right. Enhanced Sports Show rolls on Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Number is 512-543-4662. We got a lot to talk about, of course, as usual, as we wrap up July. We'll recap the WNBA All-Star Game, the British Open, a.k.a. the
Open,
and the, of course, wrapping up NBA Summer School. Okay, the NBA Summer League tournament. I call it NBA Summer School. Well, I do. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but that's why I do it. Little sarcasm. Of course, we'll also preview the Women's Euro Final. That'll be on Sunday. I wish Italy would have been in it, but they blew it at the last minute. We'll also have our first NFL preseason predictions because next Thursday is the first preseason game. So I'll take the predictions this week. So get ready. MLB, of course, as the trade deadline approaches. I'm gonna discuss, of course, Hulk Hogan's death on the show because we do get some wrestling fans on there. So all you wrestling fans out there, if you're interested, call in and we'll discuss like his greatest moments as well. And of course, MLB and more WNBA news. And will Caitlin Clark return before the season's over? I don't know. We'll see. Of course, our regular features this weekend, this day in sports history, the ridiculous side of the week, sports trivia. Of course, your thoughts and comments are always welcome. The feel good story of the week and our monthly, of course, look back. We'll have the best and worst sports moments of July. So remember, it's 512-543-4662. Don't forget, we're on Facebook Live. So don't forget looking at us on those other services. We're on Facebook Live. And don't forget to like and share the Facebook page as well. And all comers are welcome.
All right. Well, sounds good. The Walker Report will be back, guys, next Thursday. We have a interview with an author about a book. I sent the book in the group chat if you guys want to check it out before we interview the guy next week. We'll be back next week. I want to thank these three gentlemen for making Thursday nights fun. Thank the men and women of our armed services and our first responders. Thank you for doing what you do. We wouldn't be without you guys here. And we will be back here. I am the sportster, Bradley Walker. This has been the Walker Report. We're part of NGSE Sportscast. Remember the website. It's ncsesports.com for all your current sports content. Till then, peace.
Okay, folks. Okay, let me get out of here.
Nice and good luck.